1.3 livestream just ended a few days ago, and Kuro been teasing this character, Shorekeeper and YOUUU since the beginning of 1.2 version. So I'm gonna go through her banners and see whether or not she is a good pulling option for you. And yeah, this video will be mainly focused on Shorekeeper, not YOUUU. But if you guys want to know my opinion on YOUUU, let me know on the comment below, and I will consider to make the video out of her. Shorekeeper is the new support character that will be coming, and some says a good replacement for Verina, since you know Verina have been such a good support at the start of the game. You guys can go ahead and check out my pre-farm video on Shorekeeper where I go a lot more in depth on what her kit actually do. Looking at her kit once again in a very brief moment about what she does is for her normal attack, when do heavy attack or when you hold the normal attack, she will be transformed into a butterfly, or you can call the unbound form. When in her unbound form, she will regenerate her forte bar every seconds and will automatically collect nearby collectibles, which is perfect for exploration. When tap her resonance skills, Shorekeeper will heal nearby teams, upscaling with her HP with 60 seconds cooldown. And for her liberation, she will do a domain expansion called the Auto Stellar Realm that will restore HP continuously every 3 seconds, and the domain will be lasted for 30 seconds, which means your character will be healed up to 10 times. Not only that, what makes Shorekeeper can be considered an upgrade version of Verina and Baiji is while in Auto Stellar Realm, when you swap out Shorekeeper with other character, that current character will get buffed where he or she gain up to 12.5% crit rate bonus. Once again, when you swap out the current character, the next one will get another buff, and for this one, some says you will get a attack percent buff, while this website saying the crit damage. So we're gonna wait for the official one to release, but what we can understand, Shorekeeper Liberation will provide 2 different buffs to help enhance your team damage. Shorekeeper Outro skill will summon 1 Flare Star and 1 Dim Star Butterfly, where it basically helps the character provide resistance interruption, which can be triggered up to 5 times. Also, your team will get damage amplified by 15 seconds for 30 seconds. And for the last one, which is very useful, Shorekeeper Inherent Skill. When a resonator other than Shorekeeper takes a fatal blow, they will not be knocked out and will instead be healed for 50% of Shorekeeper's HP, while Shorekeeper loses the same amount of HP. What I mean by that is Shorekeeper is a fucking unit where she will take the damage instead. But remember, this effect can be triggered once every 10 minutes, so if you didn't carefully enough dodging the enemy attack, say bye-bye lah. And now let's look at her best in-slot weapon, Stellar Symphony. This weapon provides 77% energy regen at level 90, and that's a ton of energy regen, which is very good for her since her liberation also costs quite a lot, and the buff from her liberation need her energy regen reach certain amount to get the full buff to proc. Also, the weapon have a lower base attack considering everything her heals doing is going to base of her HP. And looking at the passive for the weapon at rank 1 states that it increases user HP by 12%, restore at concerto energy when casting resonance liberation, which this effect can be proc 1 times every 20 seconds. When casting resonance skills that heals, increase nearby party member attack by 40% for 30 seconds, and the effect of the same name cannot be stacked. What it means is you cannot put this weapon on 2 of your character that use rectifier. For example, if you put Baiji and Shorekeeper at the same group and use both of their skill, only 1 buff can be proc from the weapon, while the next one that casts her skill will do nothing. What I can say about this weapon is quite a niche one, where it needs specific terms to fully utilize the passive. Resonator that can fully take advantage this weapon is of course Shorekeeper and Baiji. Verina isn't that so suitable to use this since her skill doesn't heal at all, and other than that, like energy regen and HP increase, she can also fully take it on, but not the overall buff from the weapon. Now let's go ahead and answer the hot question that some people might ask. Do you need her on your account? Well, to answer that question, you might want to ask again is, do you need to fill that role which only her can fill it? And is there anyone else that already fills the role, so why pull the character? Looking at Shorekeeper, she is very versatile and can be fit on many team composition since the buff she provided is very general and doesn't really specific on which element is gonna give. If you already have Verena on your roster and you might be thinking, isn't Shorekeeper is just like Verena? While is it true, but the gameplay with Verena will be a lot more different. Verena playstyle is really easy with a quick swap team by triggering her intro, few normal attack and skill and dip. While Shorekeeper, she might need a little bit more of time on field and more frequent casting her liberation, which provide a lot of damage increase. Not only Shorekeeper buff that people are excited about, but the availability where she can freely transform into butterfly mode, which making exploration more easy and bring more fun since my area will be introduced in the future. Also, one thing that I can highlight about the Shorekeeper is the survivability of your team when have her on your roster will be more higher due to her outro and inherent skill. So on my own opinion, from what I'm seeing here is I think Shorekeeper is going to provide a lot more support than Resonator like Verena and Baiji. So if you're trying to find an upgrade for them, I definitely think Shorekeeper is the right choice to go for. And for the next part, do you need her weapon and should you pull for her weapon banner? I would say no, since her weapon is very niche, which only support can use it where their skill is provide healing. But if you're seeing it in a broad way, the stats it provided, the energy regen, is quite a lot, where worrying about the uptime of certain Resonator liberation might not be the issue. But yeah, it will be better if they just delete the tags that heals, and I could say this weapon is considered as a must pull. There's a few other options for weapon that can be used by Shorekeeper. As for the first one, which is free to play friendly, the craftable one, Rectifier 25. And of course, the energy regen provided might be lower than the 5 stars. And for the next one is from the gacha pools called the Comet Flare. This weapon passive is very good for healer, where if you do normal or heavy attack, increase the healing bonus by 3%, stacking up to 3 times. For the stats, yeah, you will be lost a lot of energy regen, but you will need it from the echo sets. Now for the final section, let's talk about Shorekeeper Resonance Change, or you can call it the Constellation. Which one to prefer or decide, is she worth at C0 or can she just stay like that? For free-to-play players, this section might not be your main focus, but can consider listening in case you might want to go further with your pulling session. For C1, what it do is increase the range of your liberation and extend the duration by 10 seconds from 30 seconds to 40 seconds. To me, C1 doesn't really necessary to go for, and Shorekeeper as she was in C0 is already good enough for support. But now, let's see her second chain. The Outer Stellarium now increased the attack of all team members by 40%. So looking at both of these chains, it's kind of obvious to me that the second chain is definitely pretty powerful and is a very significant support increase to Shorekeeper for her team. With a C2, all your team will get the buff while adding the crit rate supports on top of it, which is very good. And if that's something that you really want to see a lot of good performance out of your Shorekeeper, you really can go wrong, and I think it's pretty good to go after the C2. But always remember, this is just my own personal opinion. If you don't want to go after the chain, you can just stay at C0. She still works perfectly fine. I hope this video could help you guys decide on pulling Shorekeeper and her weapon, and if you guys have any suggestion that will help others, feel free to leave it on the comment down below. But remember guys, at the end of the day, always pull for who you want. Each character will have their own trial events, so if you guys have fun playing with her, go for it. But if not, do not pull for her. And thanks for watching everyone. As always, I will see you lot in the next one. Goodbye.